Morning guys, welcome back to Monday's video. Hope you had a great weekend. Shame about the football though, eh? Anyway guys, moving on to a more positive note. We are cracking on with the Cosworth. So we have still got a pretty much, well, a fairly complete grubby bottom end, but we have actually got a visitor for the week here. We've got Stuart over at Alpha Ragazzi's daughter, Kirsten. She is in this week. She's just on lunch at the minute, but she's in doing work experience. So after running through all the correct PPE and all the fire escapes and all the rest of it this morning for an hour, we have got her involved already in some of the Cosy engine builds. So she has very kindly been into the shot blaster and blasted all these bits and bobs here. So this is all the stuff for obviously this grubby engine that's got to be plated. We've still got plenty to go, mind. I continued while Kirsten was doing that in stripping off some ancillaries on this very grubby job. I hate doing this, it's horrible. We're going to have to give the floor a clean after. But now we've sort of given her a couple of hours on that. Now we've swapped places. I'm doing some of the blasting and Kirsten is continuing to strip this. So as you can see, she's just turned it over. We've drained all the oil, most of it on the floor. She's just removed all the bolts off the sump, so I'm going to get her to remove the sump after lunch, mark up the big end bearings and the con rods from 1 to 4, and then I'm going to get her to undo all the bits and take everything out, disassemble it, get it all in the wash, and let's get this area cleaned up, guys, because I am sick to death of working on this oily, horrible thing. It was a shame about the football, wasn't it? But we did well. We did well to get there. You've got to think on the positives, haven't you? Next time maybe. Get rid of that airline there, that's annoying me. So this is the cylinder head off that engine, and as I said to you in the last video, it is never been off before, so those valves have never seen the light of day for at least 35 years, which is really, really good. So we've got to strip that, get everything blasted. We've obviously still got to go through the other head for the other Cosworth. Those blocks, the 200 blocks that I bought from abroad, they are on their way. So we should have both of the Cosies by the end of this week. We should have everything pretty much cleaned up and ready to go, really, for when we get the other 200 block. We've got a long stud, both of them. And yeah, there'll be a couple of Cosies on the way. But at the moment, it's one of those weeks or two, especially last week, where we're sort of just cleaning up bits and don't seem to be getting anywhere. But you are. It's just a slow process. As I say, all those bits cleaned up and blasted and painted and plated in the final result will look absolutely fantastic, but there's quite a few hours involved in getting everything sort of like this. That is what we're doing at the moment. What is Isaac doing? Oh, Isaac is just cleaning up the Morris block. So he's bored it, faced it, everything's done on that bar the sort of cleaning. So by the end of today, I would have thought he's got that all clean, painted up, and back in the room over there, ready to sort of assemble this week. So I would have thought this week it would be well on the way. The head's all done, I think. We'll just head in here and have a little look. But yeah, I think most of the stuff's done. He's balanced the crank assembly. There is the clutch and the flywheel. The cylinder head's all done, bar being sort of painted. So, yeah, not going to be long, and this thing's going to all be pretty much done. Definitely well on the way by the end of this week, like I say. So that's pretty good, isn't it? So, my friend, the Mini.
Yeah, well, Morris.
Same,
yes.
Difference, similar difference.
Very similarly different.
So it looks like you've been doing some serious working out here, mate.
Oh, yes.
Know what you're doing, or just confusing yourself?
A little bit of both.
Right, what have you been doing?
So, because this is a 1275 head on a 1098 bottom end,
yeah,
you have to be careful of the valves not hitting the block face.
Right.
Because obviously it's a bigger combustion chamber on the 1275, so there's a little bit different.
So this is a gasket on the block.
Yeah, and then what I've done, well, I didn't use the gasket, but I put a piece of paper over the block.
Yeah.
dropped the head on with a few of the valves in, with no springs, and glued up the faces of the valves.
Yeah.
And pushed them down to see where they touch or if they touch at all.
Okay.
And basically the exhaust valves do touch, but the inlets don't.
So the inlets are the ones that are in between 1 and 2 and 3 and 4.
Yeah.
So you can see there, it looks like the bores are offset to the head. So this side here where you've got material is where the exhaust will go.
Yeah.
And it will foul on the block, is that right?
Yes, it will.
So you worked it out with the cam lift.
The lift and the thickness of the gasket and everything taken into account, you've got 56 thou clearance, but that doesn't take into account the ratio of the rocker.
Ah, right. So what are the ratio of these rockers?
Apparently 1.22 to 1.
So they go up to, I think, 1.5, don't they? They do a 1.5.
It's something like that, yeah.
So 1.22, you've got 56 of clearance.
That's
just off
before that, yeah.
Yeah, so if you had a 1-to-1 ratio.
Yeah.
But with the 1.22,
that's going to take a lot of that clearance.
Yeah,
we're
going to foul
like
plus about 20 thou,
yeah.
isn't it? So I'm thinking if he was running a 1.5 ratio rocker,
yeah,
you'd be down about 50 thou, 60 thou. So I reckon if we do 2 mil deep grooves, we should have plenty of.
Should be okay then, shouldn't we?
Should be absolutely pucker. Or even 2.5, because what you've got to take into account is the top of this piston here is going to be flush with the surface of the block.
Yeah.
And you've got about 5 mil from the top to the first ring.
Yeah, so you don't want the first ring coming up past that cutout.
No.
Because it will snap itself off.
That's it, yeah. Depending on what piston you're using. I think some pistons you've got a lot more.
Right.
But for this one you've got about 5. So if we do it sort of 2.5 mil.
Yeah.
You're not going to be taking too much out of the compression ratio. I would say myself, if by taking the compression ratio down, you don't want to do it too much in the block.
No.
You preferably do it in the combustion chamber of the head.
Yes.
But we're okay on compression ratio. So yeah, I think if I set this up, mate, what I'm going to do is centre it up, put a slightly bigger cutter.
Yeah.
Than the exhaust valve, gives you a little bit of leeway.
Yeah.
And just take it out to getting on towards the gasket.
Okay.
We should be absolutely fine, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
So we'll do that in the morning.
Really.
We've got to take it off the engine stand, get it set up, do that. It's a little half-hour job.
It'll be another round of cleaning and
another round of
another little dummy build, I suppose.
Yeah, I expect so, mate. But that's the problems you come across, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, you've done the rods. They all come out all right in the end. They were.
Yeah, one was all over the place on the balancing, but sorted that out.
Right. Okay.
They're all a bit weird, really, but yeah. And they were. I think I had one slightly tight rod on the sizing.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, so honed that out, but I've given them all a little hone just to
clean them up, get a nice true.
Yeah.
Make sure they're true.
Up.
Yeah.
But
so well on the way with this then. Ring gaps, what
ring gaps. So you need, got it here, the ball size 2.583 times 3, which was about 7.7.
Yeah.
And then 2.583 times 4. That's your, so you can have 3 or 4 thou per inch.
Okay.
So that's obviously the ball size times. So I'm looking to get in between that range.
Okay.
But having checked them, I've got about 6 thou.
Overall?
On most, I've checked a few of them.
So they do need to be gapped, really?
Yeah, they need to be gapped.
Yeah, well, that's unusual, isn't it? Because this type of piston, usually, you'd think you just stick them in there and just goes to show.
A little bit tight, needs a couple of thou coming out. So I'll aim for sort of 9, 10, and that'll be perfect then.
And another thing we check for on these, on all of them, on all pistons really, but we've had this problem before on the county ones where we check that the ring sits right back in the groove. Do you remember that one we had for, I think it was a Healy 3000 we bought county pistons, and the grooves on one of them weren't deep enough.
Yeah, I did measure it as well.
Didn't quite sit back. Like there, when you stick the ring in the groove, you know it should be below the surface, and then you know that it's not going to.
Compared to the original pistons, they're slightly shallower because I did measure it.
Oh, okay.
But it doesn't seem to be making a difference because it's still all the way in. So
right. Yeah. Well, that's good then, mate.
Yeah.
Towards the end of the week, then we should be on the way with this, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
The Cosworth, mate. What a day I've had with that. just been one of them days, really, mate. The
floor's nice and clean, though, mate.
It is, thanks to you. Earlier on, we were swimming round in it.
Yeah.
But here I've got a box full of bits. Kirsten has been very kindly doing all this, or most of this. We've been sort of taking it in turns. She actually stripped the bottom end of the block.
Right.
But so this is all the bits for this and that engine.
Right, yeah.
I've laid them both out for each engine, took photos, so I know which bits go with which engine. But we're going to be sending these off. There's a few bits in here which I'm going to sort out to have yellow zinced, which comes out as like the gold colour.
Yeah.
And then the rest is clear zinced, which will come out as the silver.
Nice.
So we've got a few more little bits to clean up and put in here, and then we can get that sent off, mate.
Oh, I do.
The block is, as I say, all pretty stripped. It's all standard bearings and what have you. The crank looks pretty good, so hopefully that's going to measure up okay. May have to grind it, don't know.
Proper job.
So yeah, hopefully tomorrow we could have everything oil free. I'm happy then.
Yeah.
Hate it when it's
like
greasy
oil.
and oil. No, hate it. So yeah, that's it really. What do you reckon to the football?
Well, what a shame.
It is a shame.
It was looking so good as well.
No, we haven't mentioned it today, have we? Earlier?
No, not to John.
No, not to John. John's the type of bloke who's I told you so. Isn't it?
Yeah, he doesn't like the football, and
don't like the football.
He doesn't like that we're into it.
He could have told us that England would have lost, but that's what makes it most annoying, really. So we've avoided the conversation of football today, haven't we? The subject.
Yeah.
But never mind. Yeah, it is a shame, mate. But I was actually disappointed. I'm not even into football, but it's England, isn't it? You've got to support your own country.
Yeah.
You can't do that. It's a sad state.
It just gives you something to be excited about.
It does. It's like everyone sort of gets together in a way, don't they? And
yeah, that's what I like about it. It's
I do as well.
It's quite atmosphere, isn't it?
It's quite good.
But yeah, maybe next time.
Maybe next time.
Probably not though.
Well, you never know.
Definitely not in the World Cup.
No.
Might be right in the next Euros, but
yeah, maybe. We'll have to see, won't we?
Yeah.
But that's it, mate, for one day. I've had enough. I'm going home in a minute. Till Wednesday's video. Have a nice evening. Cheers.